Hi, I'm Felice Shapiro with Better After 50, and I am the lucky person today getting to interview my coach, Cathy Schneider, Dr. Cathy Schneider, who has so many titles. I can't even begin to list them here. Professor, coach, entrepreneur, author, on and on we go. And there's no better expert to talk about strength. A million other topics we can handle, but we're going to start with strength today in our 50s and 60s and how to deal with getting stronger, noticing that we actually may be losing a little bit of our strength and what we can do about it. Cathy, welcome.
Felice, it's always great to be with you. You're such a great entrepreneur, athlete yourself. So back at you.
Thank you. Yes, I had no business running the Boston Marathon, and Cathy trained me, and I actually finished, which was because she is inspiring and gave me a plan that I stuck to. She has a program called Move. We're going to talk about all of this. Let's start with our first question, Cathy, which is, what's our benchmark for being strong? Like, where do we start in terms of are we strong enough? Could we be stronger? Like, how do we evaluate where we are so we can begin to understand where we're going?
Well, great opening question, Felice. You want to start with just our bodies, right? Without using any weights to see where we are. So, like, you want to look at the different parts of our bodies, right? You want to take the lower body. Always start with thinking about the large muscle groups first. So think about doing one set of 10 squats.
Okay.
As an example, you don't need any weight. You need proper form. If you're not sure, want to go to a trainer and ask them for form advice, because that is important, even if you're just using your body. But if you can't, they're great videos. Okay.
Great. So the large muscle groups are important. And then once let's just say this is elementary, we've done 10 squats and we've learned something, right? What do we do with this information, and how do we begin to develop a plan for ourselves? Let's just say we want to go from here and go forward.
Okay, well, there are many sources of strength. There are videos, excellent ones, videos, we'll say. My website also has a strength program, as you will find on many websites.
No, I definitely want to direct our listeners to your website, because I know.
Okay, ours was designed with the beginner in mind, but also with an intermediate and advanced person in mind. And what's unique about it, it's designed, it explains why strength training is important, how it helps your bones, etc. It was created by the strength coach for the Miami Dolphins, who's got more certifications in strength than you can imagine. Myself, I have certifications in strength and obviously a master's athlete and champion. And then also by a young woman who's a boxing champion and also has many certifications. So the three of us got together and we said, let's explain why strength training is important for, right, our joints. Excuse me. We'll deal with that. Why it's important for everything, right? And how you can fit it into your schedule so it's not intimidating. That's really important. And how it can be motivating.
Okay, let's say we're beginning with the beginner in mind. And we're starting our strength training program. Can you give us an example of the time commitment you're talking about, and per session, how many sessions per week, and some of the moves that you're recommending?
Sure. So the first place to start is with your own time, with your own schedule. What can you do? Would you prefer to do at the very beginning either 4 20-minute sessions a week or 2 40-minute sessions a week? The 20-minute sessions, Felice, would be 2 upper body and 2 lower body, right? With core mixed into that. And whereas the 2 40-minute sessions would be, for the whole body.
Yes.
So that's what you want to do first. And you want to, strength training is something you have to be committed to. And even more than that, excited about it. You have to believe in it.
So
So
I'm sorry, why are we believing in it? What would give us some
we
like
we
language?
believe in it because it's essential to keep our bones strong,
Okay.
right? We lose, and to keep our muscles strong, we lose a half a pound of muscle every year after age 30.
What?
Uh, yep.
Well, we
Mhm.
can get that back, right?
You can absolutely get that back. And there have been many studies that have shown that people in their 50s and 60s can improve their strength by 100% within 6 months of training, and improve it very rapidly, as much as 40% within 2 months.
Wow. So if you're saying if we did nothing, if we did absolutely nothing and we just aged without really working on any strength training, any particular exercise program, our bodies just automatically lose a half a pound of muscle every year.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So no matter what age, this is a priority to
it's a
be.
priority. It's an absolute priority. Yeah. And
Okay.
as I said, scheduling's important. And then, well, motivation, you're addressing that, is
Right.
important, right?
So let's just go back to the bones and the joints.
Mhm.
So we're motivated to do this because without it, inevitably, we're just going to be weaker and we're not going to have strength that we need in our day-to-day lives. What happens to people say, I have sore knees, I have a sore back, I have, my joints are tight, I have arthritis, I have, all these things. How does strength training play into those issues that so many of us have?
Right. Well, just think about the knees, for example. When you strengthen your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, your quadriceps, and your glute muscles, and even your calves, right? Your soleus muscles. What you're doing is you're making the bones do less work, the joints do less work, the muscles help you. So you look better, and you're relieving pressure on your joints.
So you're strengthening the muscles around the joints
Correct.
so that the pressure doesn't go directly into the joints and strain them. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Yes, particularly when you're doing activities involving an open chain, meaning you're off the ground. So running is an open chain exercise. Biking is a closed chain exercise because you don't have that, slam bang kind of thing, right?
Okay, so let's talk about one of the fastest growing sports in America, pickleball.
Pickleball,
Okay, we both love pickleball. So what's
love
the
it.
story of that? That seems like a really kind of tough sport for people who are getting older, yet it is one of the fastest growing sports. So what about that? That's an
You
open.
absolutely, because these sports which involve sudden turns of direction, stop and start, angles. I mean, you don't run a lot in pickleball because the court is small, but you are challenging your joints a lot because of the change of direction. I don't know how I'm sure you felt that, right?
Totally. Yes. No, it hurts some. I feel it
Yeah.
more than even tennis for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more than tennis. So for pickleball, yes, for your joints and for pickleball, I should say, we need to do strength train.
Right.
And, we need to strength train not just our, quadriceps, our hamstrings, and our glutes. And as people get older, the glutes are particularly, I've done quite a number of articles on the importance of glutes for people in their 50s, strengthening glutes for people in their 50s and 60s, because the glutes are our prime movers. People say, oh, I'll just strengthen my quads and my hamstrings. No, you need to strengthen those glutes. And
So
how do
you're
you do
talking about our butt muscles around our hips, right?
are exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So, exercises like bridges, starting with two-legged bridges, right? You familiar with those?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What?
You can advance to one-legged bridges, and then clamshells, right?
Nope. I don't know what that is.
Clamshells, well, you're kind of lying on your side and with your knees bent, and the goal is to one leg is on the floor. Your your legs are on top of each other, and you lift one leg off and then bring it down again with your knees bent, right? And then
Okay.
you can uh, improve the effectiveness of it by putting a band around your knees,
Uh-huh.
right? To
Okay.
make that even harder, as you can with anything.
Right.
You can use bands, ankle weights, etc.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, what about Pilates for strength training? Do you?
Pilates is very good for strength training, but it particularly works your core. But now there have been many versions that also account for, accommodate the upper and the lower body. So the real question is not that there's just one way to do it. There are many ways to strength train. The most challenging piece today is the piece of trusting your source of information about strength.
Mhm.
And then also having it be logistically convenient.
Right.
Because the biggest challenge, and my whole area is of interest and research, is in achieving goals for achievement, for peace of mind, for calm, and for perspective. The whole point is that these days we're overloaded with options of things to do and responsibilities. It's hard to stay focused. So, whether you choose Pilates, or yes, you can strengthen your body with yoga, or you do a video, or you do a personal trainer, you want to think of it as something that fits with your schedule and that you can be consistent with. And it's the consistency that wins.
Right. Right. Well, that's terrific. I mean, that's really helpful. I would like to say, as we get toward the end of 2021, and it's a week before Thanksgiving, and we're coming into a season where, thank goodness for some of us, we're going to get together with some family. There may be less opportunity to be disciplined. However, it's a great time for goal setting. So, what would you suggest we do as we move into this season?
So I always think when times are toughest, as in the holiday seasons for exercise, right? Or let's say you get injured, those are tough times. You want to micro focus on goals. So instead of thinking, oh, at the end of 2022, I'm going to be able to, do 3x10 bicep curls with 30 pounds in each hand. Uh, Instead of thinking that way, just make the moment important. So set a very short term goal, maybe even a 2-week goal with a friend. Okay. And say, all right, you can get together on Zoom and strength train together. I have Sunday morning strength sessions that have been going now for, um, I guess, a year and a half since COVID. And they're at 8:30 on Sunday mornings. And we get together and we do a routine. We do a warm up, we do a strength routine. It's only 40 minutes or so. Then we do stretching, and then we do a meditation and a short conversation. And we always keep it to about 40 minutes. Now, you could do it with a sister in law or a brother or a daughter. Uh, you could do it with your family. But so make a commitment to meeting with someone twice a week for 2 weeks. And so that makes it fun, right?
Yeah,
You want to have fun. You need to have fun. You need to make it social.
right. So 2 times a week is really manageable. I mean, I think we can all find 40 minutes 2 times a week, or you're saying 20 minutes 4 times a week. But we can find
Exactly.
that. We can find that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Fantastic.
then you can feel good about it at the end. The whole idea is we're more likely to achieve goals, right? If we get feedback, we give ourselves feedback and say, "Hey, Felice, hey, Cathy, you did well for these 2 weeks, right?"
Yes.
And
Oh,
you
you
feel
just
good.
did it.
Yeah, you did it. Right. And every tiny step counts. So it's a
Right.
combination of saying, let's value the tiny steps. Let's evaluate after 2 weeks. And then, hey, guess what? We might continue.
Right. No,
Right.
great. That is
So,
so great. Well, I think this is a really motivating talk, and we're going to put in a link to your strength training program so that people can begin to get started, or they can find their own. But
sure.
let's just do it, right? We're just going to
Perfect.
do it.
Yeah,
Great.
we're just going to do it.
Kathy, always motivating, inspiring, and I learned so much from you. Thank you so much.
Thanks you for Better After 50, Felice, too.
Happy holiday.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Happy holidays. Bye bye.